Ever feel like you're out in the field and it's like a game of chess
Oh, yeah.
with like real stakes?
Yeah.
As soldiers, we're always making those strategic decisions
Right.
under pressure. And that's where I think really getting combat power,
Yeah.
really understanding this idea, it's in ADP 3.0 Chapter 5,
Right. Right.
can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And it's, people think it's just about firepower.
Right.
It's about more than just, brute force. It's
Right.
about how you can weave together everything you've got,
Okay.
all those assets, and you use them to achieve your mission.
So ADP 3.0 breaks combat power down
Yeah.
into 8 key elements:
Yeah.
leadership, information,
Right.
and then you get those 6 warfighting functions:
Yeah.
command and control, movement and maneuver, intelligence, fire, sustainment, and protection.
That's a mouthful.
It's a lot.
It is.
It is,
But
but it's fascinating because those first 2, like you said, the leadership.
And the information, they really shape how effective all the others are.
Okay.
Think of the 6 warfighting functions like, tools in your toolbox.
Okay. Yeah.
You need the right tools, right?
Right.
But you got to know how to use them.
Yeah.
And that's where the leadership and information come in.
So are you saying that even if you've got like the best equipment, the best training,
Yeah.
if your information's bad,
Yeah.
or if leadership's not there,
You got it.
the whole operation is all compromised?
It highlights how crucial leadership is on the ground.
Right.
You got to make sound decisions. You got to be able to adapt to new situations as they pop up.
Right.
And you got to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Everybody's got to know.
And the information, if you got bad intel, it can just ruin everything.
It can send you sideways.
Even if you've got great leadership.
Right. Reminds me of that mission securing that bridge.
Oh, yeah.
They were told minimal enemy presence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Not the case.
not the case.
Yeah.
They walked into an ambush.
Classic case, what we call intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance failure.
Right. Right.
If they had a better picture of what that enemy's strength was, what they were going to do,
Right.
the outcome's totally different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
A harsh reminder that knowledge really is power out there.
Absolutely.
So let's get into these warfighting functions.
Okay.
And let's start with command and control. What's the takeaway for the listener here?
So command and control, think of it as the nervous system
Okay.
of your combat power.
Okay.
How well commanders can synchronize and direct all those elements.
Right.
You've got the troop movements, the intelligence, the logistics, all of it.
So instead of everyone operating in isolation,
Yeah.
good command and control, everyone's working together.
Precisely.
A cohesive force.
Everyone's working toward that common goal.
Right.
You're maximizing that collective strength against the enemy.
Okay, so if command and control is about coordination, what about movement and maneuver?
So this is where you get that tactical advantage.
Correct.
Putting your forces in the best possible position to succeed.
Right.
Whether that's maneuvering for a flanking attack,
Yeah.
skewering a hilltop,
Yeah.
or even avoiding enemy contact.
Okay, so movement and maneuver, it's about more than just getting from point A to point B.
It's about using that movement
Right.
to your advantage.
Okay.
You want to keep the enemy guessing.
Right.
You maintain the initiative.
So like
Think about,
Thermopylae.
Thermopylae. They use that narrow pass, maximize their forces against a much larger army.
The Persians
The Persians, right?
use the terrain to their advantage.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got troops in position. We're maneuvering
Yeah,
for advantage, but how do we know what the enemy is doing?
right.
That's where intelligence comes in.
Intelligence, that's key.
Yeah.
And it's more than just knowing where they are. It's about what they can do. Okay. What they want to do, what their weaknesses are.
So like a complete
The
picture
whole picture.
of the battlefield.
The terrain, the weather, even what the local population thinks.
Wow.
That all matters
Okay.
when you're making those decisions.
So going back to that bridge mission,
Yeah.
good intel could have meant
Huge difference.
a
Yeah.
huge difference
Yeah.
between walking into an ambush
Yeah,
and setting one up yourself.
exactly.
Okay, so you've got that intel, and then you can start planning your fires.
Right.
And fires isn't just about lobbing artillery.
No. Fires is about creating the effects you want,
Okay.
lethal and non-lethal.
So we're talking land, air, maritime space, cyberspace.
The whole shebang.
all working
All
together.
the domains.
Okay.
Because a cyber attack that shuts down their communications,
Yeah.
that's just as good as an airstrike.
Yeah.
Sometimes even better.
Okay.
So each one of those elements of fires,
Yeah.
it's another tool in the toolbox. A good commander knows what to use when and where.
Man, this is complex.
It is a lot.
A lot to manage, even on a small scale.
Yeah.
How do you keep it all running smoothly?
Well, that's where sustainment comes in.
Okay.
The backbone.
Logistics.
Exactly.
Keep it going.
You got to make sure they have what they need to fight.
Right.
Food, water, ammo, medical supplies.
Okay.
Even just maintenance and repair.
It's easy to overlook logistics.
It is.
But you know what they say? Amateurs talk tactics.
Yeah.
Professionals study logistics.
That's right.
Without sustainment.
The best plan in the world falls apart.
Yeah. Those guys holding the bridge.
Right.
No supplies.
Exactly.
They're not going to hold it for long.
Nope.
All right. So finally, protection.
Yes.
Safeguarding the force.
Mm-hmm.
What's the takeaway there?
So protection is about minimizing risks.
Okay.
It's about preserving your strength so you can do what you need to do,
Right.
achieve that mission.
Right.
And it's not just body armor and bunkers. You got to anticipate the threats.
Okay.
What's the enemy going to do?
Yeah.
What about the environment?
Okay.
Cyber attacks even take steps to stop those things before they happen.
So constantly looking at where are we vulnerable?
Exactly.
What can we do to protect people, equipment, information?
And this all goes back to the beginning.
Okay.
Leadership information.
Right.
Good leadership prioritizes protection.
Okay.
Accurate information lets you figure out the risks.
So we've talked about the 8 elements of combat power, but how does that translate to actually using our forces?
Organizing and deploying.
Yeah, how do we do that?
So ADP 3.1 talks about 3 main methods.
Okay.
Force tailoring, task organization, and mutual support.
Okay.
Those are the tools that commanders use to actually make those 8 elements work.
So force tailoring, let's start there.
Right.
What does that mean, like, in the real world?
Okay, so say you're a commander. Yeah. You got to secure that bridge again.
That bridge.
You're not going to send in tanks.
If it's all woods and forests.
Right, if the enemy's hiding out in the woods.
Guerrilla tactics?
Yeah.
You want something lighter?
You want something agile, right?
Okay.
So force tailoring is about having the right forces, the right stuff, and putting it all together for that specific mission.
Okay.
Using them the right way.
So it's like picking the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
You wouldn't use a wrench on a circuit board. Got to have the right tools and use them the right way.
And that's what we're talking about with our forces too.
Okay, so force tailoring. What about task organization? How does that fit in?
So task organization, that's like the next level.
Yeah.
You're building specialized units just for this mission.
Okay.
So you're securing that bridge, right?
Yeah.
But you also need to do some recon.
Okay.
Deep behind enemy lines.
Right.
You could put together a special team.
Okay.
Take some infantry, some recon, maybe even some engineers.
It's the best of the best for that specific mission.
So it's about being more flexible and adaptable.
Exactly.
Having the right people for whatever comes up. And that seems to be really important here.
It is.
What about mutual support? How does that play into all of this?
Think of mutual support like the glue.
Okay.
It holds everything together.
On the battlefield.
On the battlefield, it's about positioning your units.
Right.
So they can help each other out.
Okay.
You know, back me up. I got your 6, that kind of thing.
Right. Like those Spartans at
It's
Thermopylae.
The phalanx formation.
Right.
It wasn't just about defense.
It let them protect each other.
Exactly. They could cover each other's flanks.
Okay.
They had overlapping fields of fire.
Right.
A united front against the enemy.
So it's more than just being close to each other.
Right.
It's about positioning coordination, knowing what everyone brings to the fight.
And being able to trust that the other unit's got your back.
Right. Like one unit providing cover fire while another advances. Exactly. Or calling in artillery strikes to support an infantry push.
That's mutual support.
That's it.
But that requires good communication.
Right? Absolutely.
If units can't talk to each other,
It all falls apart.
they can't coordinate.
Yeah.
They can't support each other effectively.
And that's where that command and control structure is so important.
Right back to that.
Making sure everyone's on the same page, information's flowing up and down the chain.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
The 8 elements of combat power,
Yeah.
force tailoring, task organization, mutual support.
It's all connected.
What's the most important thing for our listeners to take away from all this?
Combat power, it's not about just having the most stuff.
It's not about brute force.
No, it's about how you use what you've got.
Leadership information. Those 6 warfighting functions. Organizing your forces the right way.
It all works together.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. You got to be able to adapt to the situation.
Make good decisions
Use everything at your disposal.
to achieve that mission.
That's what it's all about.
So to everyone listening, we want you to think about this.
How are you going to use this?
How are you going to apply your understanding of combat power in your role?
What are you going to do differently?
Starting today.
To be a more effective soldier.
A more adaptable soldier.
Or more lethal force on the battlefield.
Because when it comes down to it, that knowledge...
It makes all the difference.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Until next time.